Okay, here we are. Okay, it's me, your boy. I'm back for, I guess, a decently hyped release. I'm here with my friend, Jared.
Hello.
Here he is.
How's it going?
What do you know about our boy Young Lean?
Young Lean, I know very little about Young Lean. I know he's our Swedish drain ganger. I know very little otherwise about Young Lean. I know you showed me a lot of his stuff.
I've certainly played it around you.
That's most of the exposure I've gotten of Young
Yeah,
Lean.
I don't know like specifically what I've shown you, but you've definitely seen enough. Just like not like
for sure, and I vibe with it for sure. But
probably
this
organized.
this is definitely different than his usual sort of project.
Yeah,
you said to me.
Yes, it is. Okay, so we've gotten quite lucky with Young Lean this year. No album from Young Lean this year, but back in February he released under his name Jonathan Leendoer, 96 I believe. That's like his singer-songwriter kind of folky stuff. But the album he released this year was like this like glam rock, like it was very weird shit. I wasn't really messing with it that much. I wasn't the biggest fan, but here we have Död Mark, and this is a sophomore project.
It's more of a punk sort of like oriented album, right? You said.
Yeah, from what I saw, it's like maybe synth punk, or I don't know like the extent of what this punk sound is. I'm not surprised by it. I guess like Blade. I am aware that like when he was very young, before Blade was a thing, he had like a punk band, which is kind of interesting for sure. Okay, yeah, I'm ready to listen to this. Okay, it just came out, and maybe one day I'll listen to the debut one too. I don't know.
Let's go.
Gå med ljuset, klättskorna över klacken. Ska tista och
Död Mark, Fff Freestyle.
Okay, so that's just an intro to this, like just like a minute long. I don't know what to think about this.
Just like a prelude, I guess, what we're getting into, maybe.
Yeah, one thing I thought was pretty cool about it certainly was like the way the drums are produced in this, like this good fill. There's this weird guitar at the start that's very, like, it sounds like it's going to be like an 80s rock song,
It sounds like it's going to have a lot of synth.
Dude, yeah, sort of stuff. Like in a way, I'm like, remember the movie That's My Boy? Yeah. This is like Adam Sandler's character, like that rock sound. It's like... Okay. He's singing in Swedish, eh? Okay.
Very, very simple.
It's like a dream pop-esque in a way. His singing's actually not bad. It's much different than the Leendoer project he did this year. Nice little cymbals leaving us off. Fff Freestyle. Okay.
Interesting. I like the dream pop kind of aspect of it. Like you said, it was very mellow. It was very pleasant.
Yeah, it was very chill and like very what's the word? It's very trancing. Like I feel like it's really sticking me in a trance. Like the vocals were actually pretty good from Young Lean. Like when he tries to do his singing outside of his rap scene, sometimes it goes in a way that I'm like I don't get this. But it was kind of like an emotive song too, like very indie rock, like yeah, like to me I think he's showcasing to me that he can certainly sell that sound.
Like I said, it was almost like a car seat headrest, sort of like
kind of
at some point.
I do kind of see that. I do. It's very Yeah, this is quite good. It's kind of lengthy too, right? Like 4 minutes, but I was like really sitting in it. It's very like wavy.
Yeah, it did sound like 4 minutes to me. Like it went by quick enough. Like,
yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, this is nice and clean. I might as well look at the lyrics. It's probably the only song I'm gonna be able to do that. What do we have? In my time, only valleys and mountains will do it forever. My dreams are painted with color like doing the first round.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you, Riley?
I don't know yet.
Mr. Reactor?
I don't know if he's talking about like these are like obstacles, maybe. I don't know. In his
Or the
time,
highs and lows of his life is the only thing.
maybe, but he's saying he's gonna do it forever. My dreams are painted in with color. So the way he thinks about his life or the dreams that maybe he's pursuing are very vivid to him. Mm-hmm. And I only get older and older. It feels like I'm stuck in somebody else's dream. So he's bringing up dream again, though, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he's saying his dreams are vivid, maybe, but then he's saying as he's getting older and older, maybe that he's sort of losing that attachment to it. Right. And everyone who didn't believe in us, what have they done that is forever? Interesting. So at the end of the day, he's still attaching this to, like, what he's done is... Well, when I think about forever, I guess I'm sort of thinking like, you know, something that is well past your life on Earth, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone who didn't believe in us, we moved together. You on the same spot. Right. So okay, I don't fully know what he's trying to say here, other than like, you know, someone who doesn't believe into you, at the end of the day, we're all like interconnected. Like life still keeps like moving on. Like
we're more similar than we are, you know, different at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah. I sweated away, let the sky stand clear. Feels like smiling for the first time. It was so dark you wanted to have it in color, like the dark moves on the platform. Everyone I loved were hated for the same reason. Everyone I loved were hated for the same reason. I'm not sure really what he's trying to say there. But nobody can hold me captive, have no direction, have no ruler. I just move, burn fuel, can't stay, neither smile or die. As if I'm stuck in a roundabout. Okay, so now I guess he's here in this situation where...
He feels like chasing his dreams, maybe, sort of...
Okay, well, like here he's like right at the end of this, like this little verse, like he's certainly suggesting like... you know, his decisions for doing this aren't like set in stone, right? He's just like, he is just doing it. There is no clear like decision making behind why he's doing it, but he's going in circles with his creative output, maybe. Right.
And I only get older and older. Interesting.
But then again, right, everything that he's talking about here is like stuck in this like state of forever. So it seems like this song is him suggesting, you know, looking at his life through his work, through his art, through his creative decisions, and sort of trying to, you know, understand why he's maybe specifically stuck in like a rut. I don't know. Yeah, I would say that it is quite introspective. It is kind of, in a way, it's existential and it's certainly depressing. But you know, even though it's depressing, you have this backing of this song that's fucking. It
sounds very cheerful, I guess, ultimately, or very dreamy.
Well, it's very nice.
It's very lush, vivid, for sure.
Oh my god, this seems like I like. Can't work on the cymbals. Ooh, vocals in the back are nice. Okay, Oga for Oga, like this is a very short song. Like it's like just a little bit over 2 minutes, and I mean it repeats itself like a little bit around the halfway point. So like structure of it's pretty simple, but it's it's kind of a sexy song, man.
It is pretty sexy. I wish it were maybe a little longer with a little bit more of an
maybe,
you know?
Maybe.
It is good, but I think it does what
like, I'm not sure if that will change later on, but just being given it to the first time, I'm grooving, you know? I'm like, oh, alright, nice. And yeah, it's kind of interesting too, like, to have that after the last song, right? So there's some decent variety. You have this sad synth-based song with, you know, there's the synthesizer on this one, and again, the drums have like this nice,
like upbeat,
good hit on it. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe of the synth punk. I do like this song. One thing I will say though is like the experience of it listening to the first time is like I barely feel Lean's presence on this because it seems like that guitar and those drums
really overpowered.
They take them over.
Yeah.
But that element of the song is a lot of fun, and you know I'm pretty intrigued by the fact that we've had so many different styles of sounds on this so far. And this is a very short song. This is under 2 minutes, so
yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Is this Never Met? Oh my god, strings?
Not something I typically would expect necessarily from Eileen. I don't know.
No, not really. Yeah, I don't mind this song. I don't mind it. I think like the selling point for me is the strings. Like the strings being in there kind of heightens my experience with it because that experience of that guitar with it and him just being like very moody, like I don't know. It's not fully enough to strike me for a full song, but I think the strings sell as like an emotional switch up for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Död Mark.
This starts like a Radiohead song. Yeah, moving into like some ethereal state here, like this background here. Yeah.
Out there, the fade out there.
Yeah, the fade out's pretty good too. Yeah, Evighet or whatever. This one's I'm fucking vibing with this
that's
one.
my favorite so far.
You think it's your favorite?
I think so.
I'm not
So
sure. That comes close. Like I just still think 4Evigt or whatever. Like I still
I
think
just like the guitar in that. I think was really good.
Yeah, well, I even think like getting these like synth based like songs like sort of more in this like upbeat mood, and then this song is very 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 moody indie rock like, and I'm really liking his vocals on this one. Like I really think it's selling on this one, but there's also a different like. The sounds kind of build up by the end of it, and I think it keeps my attention, really. That guitar on this is fucking...
It almost kind of makes you think like Echo and the Bunnymen were like fucking
I guess.
into like fucking, like hip-hop and like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, yeah. Okay, I don't know. This one or that one like noise rock song? Maybe my least favorite ones. Like
Yeah, I think this one I was gonna say is my least favorite one.
like
Overall.
the noise rock
So far.
one. Like I like the energy in it, but I was like, oh, Lean's not giving me. Like I don't know what's happening with him vocally. He's so like lost in it. But this one, you know, it takes too long for it to start out, and once we get that like noise like element,
It's just not enough for me to feel like it was worth it, I guess.
well, I'm messing with it, and like I like the guitar,
Yeah.
but then it's like that guitar is giving me the same feeling like throughout, and I'm like, nah, I feel like it needs to do more now. Piano's kind of nice too there.
Another pretty short one overall.
But okay, honestly, this one.
that was a 4-minute one, wasn't it?
No, this was 2 minutes, like
2
2.5 minutes. Yeah, honestly, I fuck with this one.
That was a good one.
I fuck with this one. Like the song starts off and you're getting that like grungy guitar, and I'm like,
tribal drums, like you
yeah,
said.
and I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, it sounds like Paranormal. Like that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then once we get into this like ambient like space, like and it's like really, but it's like really pushing out. It's like, you know, like video game soundtrack esque, and you know, like hearing the vocals from Lean. And I don't know, he's really working on that for me. This I like the soundscape of this song. Yeah.
It was good. I enjoy it, for sure.
It's like the Scott Pilgrim band.
Okay, this one's good.
It's like Uncut Gems soundtrack, bro.
Very, like, different shit right next to each other.
Okay, Blickar.
Do it. That's pretty good.
I'm torn on this one. I am torn on this one because one thing I'll say is like out of all the songs, like the synths on this one are very, very sharp, very, very present, very, very nice to hear.
Yep.
I like when the piano comes in later on, and then the choral part too, like the operatic part. Like there's just like a lot of moving parts to this one that are quite enjoyable. Do I think Lean has the best presence on this? No, I don't know. Like Lean is not as present as I'd want him to be honest, I think, on first go. So I'm not 100% compared to other songs, but it has the moments, or it has like parts of the song, like especially that synth, that I'm certainly like really fucking with. So
Jag gjorde mitt sätt.
his vocals are working for me on this one. Like someone's working on a fucking line or something in the background. Weird. Minvag.
That was a good one. I don't know. It was very, I almost got like a very, I don't know. I guess I don't have like as much knowledge of his other like discography to, you know, pull from, but like it seems like a very like almost mystical sound. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I see that. Especially too with like, this very like there's this industrial but mixed with this ambiance.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can get kind of lost in that. And there's certainly that part where that's strumming.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like hypnotic, right?
It's
in a trance almost.
Yeah, it feels like it's leading you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird one. I'm certainly liking his vocals at some points, and I was liking the structure of this song. Like it feels like
instrumentation.
Yeah, it feels like it's taking you somewhere, but then I feel like by the very end, I'm left like a kind of wondering where it's gonna go. But one thing I will say though is this one being one of the lengthier songs, like 3.5 minutes, it feels like it actually has this like certain type of structure that I'm following compared to other songs. Mm-hmm. So I kind of feel respect for it feeling just there is a sense of completion with this one, I will say.
Död Mark, 4Evigt.
Okay, with this one, like Stalka, whatever the fuck was it, Strålkastarljus.
You should have learned how to pronounce every Swedish word before you did this album, Riley. You fucking.
What am I doing here?
You're unprepared.
That was probably my least favorite, to be honest. Because the one thing I'll say,
that was your least favorite, like out of all of them so far.
Yeah, and like the main reason for that is it's just like not even garnering a reaction to me. You know what I mean? Like, the two other songs that I wasn't the biggest on, like the I Love Girls, and I don't remember the name of it, or like where it was at, kind of at the start of that like first noise rock song, but this one is just the least engaging. Like, this one too doesn't fully hone in on a genre as much too, I feel. Like, it's sort of, you have the indie rock aesthetic here, and then just that fucking guitar on it just relies so much on it. I don't know. This is just, I don't know. This one I probably would have cut this one, but whatever. This gives me Radiohead vibes too. The B side, You Never Wash Up After Yourself.
Yeah.
That one. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Fucking horns, Jesus Christ, dude.
What a king move.
Fucking strings and horns. Come on, dude.
That was like unexpected, and
Very pleasant.
I really like that.
Very pleasant at the end. I think it was a good way to end it up. I think it's probably the best song you chose for the ending.
Oh yeah.
You'd like to close it off. For sure.
Yeah, that was a smart decision.
For sure.
Okay, here we have it. Död Mark, 4Evigt. Final thoughts on this album. You want to start us off, Jared? What did you think about this album?
Oh man,
front to back?
Fuck, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed it overall. I like the instrumentation. I think it's very unique. Not that I have a lot of experience with Young Lean. In regards to
you wouldn't even have to,
unless from like what I hear from you, right? But like generally, I think it's pretty good. I like the instrumentation. I wish that we could have had the lyrics up too, so we could have had that up.
Yeah, because I mean the one song that we got the lyrics for,
it was just the intro, right?
Yeah, and even on Apple, I can't even fucking look at the lyrics yet. They're not released yet, so I can't even like translate it.
I thought the instrumentation was really lush. I thought like in a lot of places, and then in the more like like the heavy like segments, there was like I think one of the songs that I think didn't impress me the most. But of the heavier stuff, I like noisy shit. I like noise rock and that sort of stuff. And
yeah.
So that like appealed to me for sure. I think it was done well, and I don't know. This kind of makes me want to look more into Young Lean a little bit, I guess, and get into him more on a personal level. I think.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
It was pretty eclectic. I think it was really like, I don't know, like the sort of jazzy like horns and strings that he had in there. like very interesting. It's probably not really anything like Young Lean projects, I imagine.
Not even
to
fucking
this day,
close.
right?
Not even close. And honestly, like I haven't listened to the first Död Mark album, but his other project, Jonathan Leendoer, I mean, that doesn't even try to have like this sense of variety that this album does. I'd have to go back and see what his first album was like under this name, but this one here, overall, I'm certainly liking this. Like, I definitely need to give it more listens to like sort of, you know, stick with each song, but there is certainly enough good moments on here that I'm, you know, impressed with what he's trying to do. Although, like, one thing I really need to go back and figure out with is like how I'm like enjoying the structures of the songs, because I don't think I was really focused on that. And I will say one of the main reasons why is because the amount of variety. I just sort of got lost in this new sound.
This new, like Young Lean experience you just are not used to at all.
No, not at all. I mean, the change in mood, not even just genre, but just change in mood on this, right? But like you have this indie rock sound, this post-hardcore, kind of more like a noise rock, and then certainly having this like the synth pop, like it's like, and you know what? It kind of overall works. Like, I think it's not too crazy for me to have this all in one album. Like, I have to respect them for this.
There's something more, like, out there album in terms of, like, what they try to mash together.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I respect him for this, right? And it kind of, again, will prove to me that, you know, he has so much more in the chamber than just under his Young Lean name, right? Like he's wanting to make music with a variety of different sounds. I'm not gonna say I enjoy this more than Young Lean though. Like I will say, like it doesn't strike me in that same way. But what I will say is that this I certainly like more than anything he's done under his singer-songwriter name. This is more engaging, more interesting, and more fun. And also too, I think, because one thing I didn't like about the Leendoer project that came out this year was production. But I think having Good, I don't know how you say his name, doing the production for this whole thing, as he's a part of Död Mark, it's Young Lean and Good. Smart decision.
Interesting, yeah. I thought it was pretty friggin' solid. Overall, I mean, what would you rate it?
Right now, I'm thinking
What's
like
gut reaction?
7.5.
A 7.5? I think that's solid. I think I'd give it a 7 to 7.5. I think that's pretty solid too, around there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It makes me want to get into Young Lean a little more too, and just to see how it compares to his older stuff, because he seems like, looking at this, it seems like he's somebody, and then like, you know, from when I remember listening to some of his other stuff that you showed me, and just stuff that I've, you know, heard as well on my own, is like, it seems like this really emphasizes he's somebody who doesn't want to be put into a box in terms of the kind of music he makes, right? Or the genre of music he makes.
No.
Right?
No way.
For sure.
Not at all. Although I will say, like, when he does these side projects, they never get the same type of, like, amount of listeners.
Right.
I would say.
It's not quite as much hype.
No. The hype isn't there, but I don't think he, like, puts that hype out there. Like, I don't think he promotes it in the same way.
It's not about that. It's more for him, I guess. In a sense, right?
Yeah, I kind of see that when he does this, but at the end of the day, homie's releasing so much goddamn music all the time, and yeah, I enjoy this. It's good. I don't know if I will like it more on multiple listens, as I will before I give you my final thoughts. But I will say now that this is, you know, a pretty impressive piece of, like, I was scared coming into this, I will say. I was scared. I was like, I don't know what Young Lean's trying to do here.
You think like you might be a little disappointed, you might not like it too much? Or?
But I think overall it just landed. It landed for me, and I'm just sort of like happy with his ambition, you know. It seems like he was having a lot of fun with this, and when I come back to it, I will, you know, try to look through the lyrics and see if that has any more value to me, potentially. But yeah,
there's definitely a few tracks that like I think I'm gonna bump for a little bit. I think for sure. I think there's a few tracks that I'm gonna add to like my Apple Music.
It's one of those things too where like even though this wasn't my favorite song, the one that I'm thinking about now was the one we were talking about with that hard synth.
Yes, yeah.
Like that's the one where I was like
the clear one, like the crisp synth.
Yeah. So okay, I'll come back I'll come back with my thoughts. Okay, look at that, eh? What's going on there? Oh my gosh. Död Mark, 4Evigt. I don't know if that's how you say it, but this sophomore project from them, I give it a few more spins. And I would say, overall, I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I give it a 7.5 in the video. I'm going to lower it down to a 7. Mostly lowering it down to a 7 because at the end of the day, I don't think I'm getting like strong standouts on the album. You know what I mean? Like songs that are really hitting for me. Overall, I would just say that this sounds quite nice. At the end of the day, good. Being a producer on this, I think that's what sells this album the most, is that the production on this is working. It sounds nice, it sounds clean, but at the end of the day, you know, what stops us from being a higher score is that these songs, sound wise, feel like they could have been going further than just touching on that surface of the genres that they're using for the most part. But I will say, listening to this as a whole album, I'm really respecting, you know, all the genres that Lean is deciding to go over here, because I think it's working, right? The synth music, there's even some strings in here, there's a horns at the end, and then, you know, the punk sound, even more of like just indie rock, like straight working on that, like the moody sound of that. So yeah, you know, I'm overall, I'm pretty impressed with what he's trying to do. At the end of the day, if you've seen my videos before, you'll know that, you know, Lean is a big artist for me. And from the side projects I've reacted to, I have not minded them, you know, but it never comes close to what he does under his main name. But I understand that, you know, if you're being an artist and you want to branch out, you want to do new, different, weird things, experiment a little bit with your sound. And I think he experiments with his sound enough to satisfy me, you know, enough to satisfy me in the sense where I'm like, okay, you know, this is kind of cool. You know, it's kind of cool. Yeah. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, put a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Peace.